I'm sorry I didn't say it yesterday. And also to my sister and nieces and nephews in Western Australia. Hey guys, I'm thinking of you and thanks for watching, and I'm out in the next heat after this, so make sure you're watching. Harv, Olivia, Sophie, Alex, you're the best. Love you guys. And happy Father's Day tomorrow for Dad and all the fathers out there.
There you go. We'll probably see Andrew Lester in here again, so
definitely.
Thank you, Andrew, and good luck, buddy. Andrew Lester is going to face off with Mark McCarthy in heat number 3. Coming up now is Jared Houston and Roberto Bruno. Wow. Amazing. If you just were tuned in for the last 30 minutes, you've seen some incredible riding from the rider from the Basque Country, Alex Uranga. Dallas Singer is now in the hot seat. Dal, holy mackerel, what just happened?
From South Africa, and Roberto Bruno from Brazil. He's had an amazing event so far, so he's really knocked down, a few favourites. He knocked out Yuri yesterday, which is,
the finalist.
Unheard of.
Yeah, Udi winning. And right off the bat, look at that. Nice clean spin. Another one high on top of the wave. Coming down. A lot of speed. Finds the section and a big flip right there. Can he hold on? That would have been a high scoring wave. Look at that. How did he do that? Roberto Bruno coming out in front of the Y-Watch. Completes that whole wave.
Oh, my God.
Amazing first wave for Roberto Bruno. He's on a hot streak.
Yeah, that was important for him, I think. Like 2 clean spins into a flip. That's a perfect way to start a heat. And I thought he might have lost there, Manny, but it seems as though he's just might be that Brazilian wax they're using. But there's nice little spins there from Roberto. I haven't seen too much of him serve through the year, but yeah, nice clean section. It's nice to see some clean waves here for a change, isn't it?
Yeah, big backflip on the inside section right there from Roberto Bruno. Holy mackerel. What a great start for Roberto Bruno. As you mentioned, he has been taking out some big names throughout the heat, including his last heat, taking out Udi Valadao, the winner of last year's Sintra Portugal Pro. But check this out.
What's Jared got in retaliation? He's looking at the rights. It's nice and clean there. I know he's looking for a flip here. Bang!
Oh,
real clean. He could link it up. Nah, I didn't want to give it to him, but seen the last heat, Manny, Alex, little flip on the right, managed to pull an 8.5 for a flip and a roll. So, that's definitely worth doing and looking at, and, the possible points you can score on those rights are really high. And, Alex found that out last heat and took out, could be the favourite for this year's world title.
And all the riders that are coming up next are taking note, including this guy, the South African Jared Houston, with a gigantic backflip right there on that right-hander. Clean. Anybody who has a camera this morning, it has perfect lighting to capture big backflips, including from this guy, Jared Houston. Jared Houston from South Africa has been on a roll, and so has his beautiful girlfriend, Natasha, on the interviews. She's been doing a great job,
isn't she? Yeah. And, Jared's, I don't know how he's been going this year. I think he's sitting on a bunch of 13ths, which is, a fifth round. So right now, I think he's really keen to get out of that 13th position. And if he gets through this heat, he's looking at a 9th. So actually, if he gets out of this heat, he's looking at a 5th. So he's already done better than the 13th. And what a great start there, Manny. He's 8.75 for his first wave. As opposed to Roberto Bruno's bit sloppier flip. He's looking at a 6.63 for his first. So, 2 awesome wave scores just posted straight off the bat here. And it's just, like I said earlier, it's just great to see clean waves here and good scoring potential. And it just sucks that, we've seen Ben Player get knocked out yesterday afternoon. And that was trying conditions. And I think they would have woke up this morning, the guys that were left in the competition, and just thought, this is great. I'm at least going to get some clean lips to hit and be able to read these waves a bit better. So, we've got 25 minutes remaining left in this heat. The 30-minute heats. I think we've got about 4 of them in round 6. So, plenty of action this morning. You would have seen that last heat with Dave Winchester unfortunately getting knocked out. My boy, my Australian mate. It's hard to see, but Alex is getting to that seasoned professional sort of status now, and he had a great year last year, just nearly posting a perfect score in the GQS, which is the qualifying series that feeds this tour. The back 8 every year from the 24, drop off, get replaced by the QS. So, that tour in itself is really competitive, and they have their own sort of tour going on. There's events all over the world. We've got one in Rio next month. So I'm sure, a lot of guys will be going to that and hope to, make that top 8. So, anyway.
Dal, check it out. We do have the interview ready to rock and roll downstairs. Where are you at?
And when it's time to talk about emotions or high emotions, this last hit was just absolutely insane, as Manny says all the time. It was insane because Alex was like surfing at the beginning of the hit, a little bit like, just being safe, and suddenly he started getting a barrel and then another wave back and back. And obviously the scores went up until leaving Winchester, the title contender, in a position that he need a 9-point something. How do you feel after that hit?
I feel really well because, like you say, I start saving a little bit and then I start feeling better and getting better waves, and finally feel like in the sky, After to listen that Winchester have to need like 9 point something, I feel really well.
I guess it feels incredible living, a contender to world champion in that position. It's a pleasure and a privilege. But also, you've been surfing very good. Last year, you won one of the biggest events in Reunion Island. You come from the Euskadi country, like an incredible place where obviously we have a world champion in women's division, Eunate Aguirre. You feel like a pleasure coming from your country and showing the world that Euskadi has a lot of good talent.
Yeah, for sure. It's not just in this kind of sport. We have a good sports guys in all the sports and like growing and everything, Olympics and everything. So this is my time to show it to these guys that we can make a good stuff in the water, like surfing or bodyboarding.
Of course, a proud Euskadi member. And you want to say something to the people that is watching back home? I know you have a huge fan people, like a huge quantity of people in the beach that are cheering for you, your girlfriend, your friends. It's very exciting. Always the flag, that's a nice feeling. You want to say something in euskera?
Bai, eskerra nire lagun guztiak hemen daudela, niri laguntzen, eta horratzean dauden guztiei ere bai, mila esker guztiei, barrutik, eta aupa familia, aupa.
So, you heard him. Congratulations, good luck, keep strong, and we see you in the next hit. I hope. Bye-bye, let's go back to you, Manny.
Wow, taking out the big name, Dave Winchester, that man right there from the Basque Country, Alex Uranga. He is stomping his way towards the final. He can totally do it, but he has to face the competition machine, the most dominant competitor on the planet. This is Guilherme Tamega. Guilherme and Alex Uranga will face off in quarterfinal number 1. That is going to go down today. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny V here with Dallas Singer, bringing you the live feed from the beautiful sunny beaches of Sintra here in Praia Grande for the 2012 Sintra Portugal Pro. I'm amped. You should be too, because we got some crazy action. Here is what happened during the interview.
Yep, here we go. Roberto Bruno just on his second scoring wave here. Nice little invert there. He's going to score around the mid-sixes into sevens, and that's probably what he was after, just solidifying, 2 good scoring rides. And there's something else that happened during the interview. We've got Jared House on another little ride. Just trimming along here. What's he got? Nice little backy. I don't know if he could handle that off the closeout, which is really hard to do, Manny. Like, to hold that through, there's not a great deal of power in these waves. So if you can get out of a backflip like that and turn around cleanly, it's really well done. But here goes Jared. Probably wants to do a bit better on that last one. Oh, offshore winds just blowing the boys off the back there. But Roberto Bruno's actually moved into first place after that invert, scoring him, it was a 5.38, which is pretty spot on. And here goes Jared Charleston in the red. It's that nice little backflip section. Oh no, he's just dropped the roll. It's probably a bit smaller than he would have liked, and just milking that wave for what it had, Manny's. Not a bad effort there. Just kind of tucked in the barrel before he kind of popped out with a little roll. So that's going to post in the second best scoring ride. And he's sitting on 8.75, which is an awesome start, like I said earlier. And he probably wants something better than that. He knows he can. There's 20 minutes remaining this heat, and anything could happen. And like you're saying, Alex Uranga, I watched his heat yesterday morning. First heat of the morning, the waves were really tough. Like, there was this huge rip running down the beach, and I don't know if you guys seen it yesterday, but there's just a replay of Jared. Yeah, like I said, the wave probably just didn't want to do it for him there, and it was a good effort. Just kind of tucks underneath after this little spin. Yeah, and pushes his way out. But Alex Uranga, super hard heat yesterday morning. Here we go, Roberto Bruno. Plenty of action out here.
Oh, my.
Just looking for a little section here. What's he got?
Oh, my.
Yeah. He's really consistent, Roberto. Like I said earlier, I haven't seen too much of him surfing this year. And this event in particular, the early rounds just sort of surprised me. And I don't think you'd want him in your heat for the rest of this competition because he's looking really good. There's it's just a replay of Roberto's wave again. Yeah, it's just so clean today, Manny. Like, it gives you so much more opportunity on these waves. And, you know, like I said before, this backflip here is kind of hard to do off a closeout ramp, and Roberto's just nailed it completely. And I think he's looking for something, you know, high sixes, that kind of thing. But Jared Howson's moved up into the lead after that last wave, posting a 6.25 for a roll spin, little pit with a roll out. So, you know, putting him in a heat total of 15 at the moment, which is a great score. And Alex Uranga made it through on a 16.6, I think, last heat. So, you know, there's still room for improvement there for Jared, and we're just waiting on Roberto's second scoring waves. Let's see what he got for that. Only got 5 points there, Manny, for that backflip of the closeout. So, yeah, a bit more work for him to do there, and he's 8.38 to move into first place and knock Jerry out of the leading position.
Well, Roberto Bruno, he's out here coming out firing, but his scores are now on the hunt for an 8.38. Can he pull it off? He's got a ton of time, 18 minutes remaining, but that's all about the wave selection. And if the wave comes in for him, Roberto Bruno on fire, as well as Jared Houston. So it's going to be a tight heat all the way to the very end. I'm still shocked and stoked at the same time. Alex Uranga, I'm stoked because Alex Uranga is one of those new guys on the tour, and stoked for him that he's, you know, making a name for himself, but shocked that he took out the #1 seed right now, Dave Winchester.
Yeah, when he's done it tough this event, you know, he's been put in the pressure cooker twice now. First of all, in round 2, he had to surf again that repechage, and then yesterday against Ben, which, you know, was a real hard-fought win, and, you know, he probably isn't too stoked with that effort this competition, but he's ended with a 9th. So best 5 competitions out of 8 this year. He's sitting on 2/3, 2 firsts, and a 9th. So, you know, it isn't a bad effort, and for anyone else, you know, they'd be pretty stoked. So he doesn't look too unhappy, Manny, and I'm sure he's just thinking about Mexico right now and what else he can do to, you know, try and solidify his lead in this year's tour. But Alex Uranga, like I was saying earlier, he had a really tough heat yesterday. He copped an interference against Galhermi Tamega yesterday morning, and he really did just come back from the dead. He ended up coming second that heat. When you got an interference call on you, your best scoring wave out of 2 is halved. So you only got a possible scoring potential out of 15, which makes it really hard for you to progress through a heat. And he managed to do so. So I think every heat since then, he's just used it as, you know, that's just an extra thing. I'm back from the dead almost, and you know, every heat's a bonus to him. I bet it just makes him feel a little bit more comfortable. And, you know, it was quite easily he could have been out of the competition yesterday. So, you know, he's against Winnie this morning. I'm sure he didn't feel too much pressure. He's just cruising at this stage and wanting to lock in a good score, good position for the end of this competition.
Conditions today are looking pretty good. Slight offshore winds, sunny skies, and the swell that came and went is still hanging out. We're seeing 3 to 4 foot waves coming in. And the tide will be coming up throughout the day, so it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to do as far as the waves and the strategies from the riders.
Oh, for sure. The many faces of Sintra Portugal Grande here.
Yes.
The tides can change everything. And, like, I don't know, the banks must shift around, Manny, or something, because within an hour this could just turn into, you know, 2 separate peaks. You know, you don't know what people will be doing in an hour's time. So you just got to take it as it comes, go out there, get busy, and just drop some flips. I think that's the main goal for these guys.
Double barrel rides from the earlier heat, couple barrel rides from Dave Winchester.
Yeah.
But the big moves, the big flips, and combination of maneuvers is what the judges are looking for, and all totally doable here in Praia Grande today, this morning. We have a long day of competition once again. This is round number 6, heat number 30 out in the water. And then we're going to jump back into the women's division with the quarterfinals, 25-minute heats. 4 of those heats will be completed. Then we're going to go back into the Grand Slam Series, the men's division, with the quarterfinals, semifinals, and yes, we are going to crown a winner here for the 2012 Sintra Portugal Pro in the men's division. So that's going to be something you don't want to miss as we come
for
down
sure.
to the wire.
How many, I don't know, how many Brazilians are left in this competition?
Well, for sure, we got Guilherme Temega. He's in the quarterfinal, number 1.
And Roberto Bruno right
and
now.
Roberto
so,
Bruno.
you know, traditionally this comp's really been dominated by Brazilian riders, and I think yesterday, you know, it was kind of suited to everyone. I mean, it wasn't really suited to anyone. You know what I mean? Like it was so tough to surf in those waves. So
You had a little
we've
bit
seen
of
a lot
everything.
we've seen a lot of the favourites kind of get knocked out, and I'm sure they're looking at these conditions this morning, thinking, wow, like I wish I got the chance out of here. So Roberto's really flying the flag for his country here, and him and Temega, if things go that way, they could be seeing each other in the semis. So Roberto Bruno sitting on a 6.63 and a 5.38 at this stage. Jared on a strength of an 8.75, that first flip on the right, and his second combination, little wave there for a 6.25. So Jerry's looking to hammer it here with 13 minutes remaining. Roberto's got his work cut out. I think he needs an 8.38, which is, a solid score. And, no doubt he can pull that off this morning. But Jerry's just going to sit there, hold priority, and see what can happen, Manny. So, what else we got to talk about, mate? No, it's beautiful to see this beach actually breaking well, and a lot of people back at home watching. It's good to see a good side of this beach, and see some guys really tearing it up. And that last heat, we seen, like you said, Dave pull off double barrels, couple of rolls. There was some big flips there from the guy from the Basque Country, Alex Uranga. And there's some big scoring rides there, and that was a really good scoring heat in any event during this year's tour. So if you can post 16s in a heat, you're feeling good. So we got 12 minutes remaining here, 12 minutes 55 seconds remaining. These next few minutes, Manny, I think Roberto Bruno is going to go a lot quicker than what Jared's really experiencing at the moment. He just wants to run the clock out, hold his best 2 scoring rides, and hopefully get to round or get the quarterfinals, which we'll see after the women's. Am I right? Yep. Women's quarters are starting after this, so some of the best women riders around the globe will be battling it out. And we'll see the men's quarterfinals straight after. So let's go for a run through. We're actually in round 6 at the moment. Right now we've got Jared Houston from South Africa. I was in the booth with him yesterday. It was really cool talking about some of the waves he's ridden this year, particularly in Africa. There's this great long left. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's pretty much a wave to end all waves. Kind of wrecks the rest of the surf. But we've got Roberto Bruno. He's from Brazil. And the next few heats, we've got Australian Andrew Lester against another South African, Mark McCarthy. And the heat after that, Magno Pesos. Actually, there's another Brazilian, Magno, flying the flag there. And another Australian, Sam Bennett, who looked pretty good yesterday, Arbo. He slugged it out in that last heat of the day when the glare's terrible. You're probably not that amped to surf a heat, and he took Dave Hubbard out from Hawaii, in the late stages yesterday afternoon.
Down. We have a little bit of time in the action right now, and we'll be back right after this. Back, everybody. We are right into it here in the live feed from Sintra's Praia Grande here in another sunny, beautiful day. And this is some of the most perfect weather that we've seen here the whole day the whole week we've been here.
Yeah.
So I'm burning up. I need to get into my trunks because you need your jeans and your long sleeve in the morning.
Yeah.
It's a little chilly, and then as soon as that sun comes out around 11 o'clock, you're starting to sweat.
It's 100 degrees out here, and then you go in the water and you get hypothermia. It's like all seasons in one day. It's unbelievable. Yeah, all these guys are wearing long suits, thick rubber. It's actually freezing out there, to tell you the truth. Everyone on the beach, is copping that 30-degree Celsius sort of heat. You get straight in the water and it's freezing cold. So here we got Andrew Lester getting ready for his next heat. He's been here before. He knows what to do, and he's actually a specialist in these kind of conditions. He knows exactly what he's going to hammer, and it's been great to see him this year. He had a bit of a break from the World Tour, and he got his motivation back, and he's surfing so well this year. Here goes Jared, just trying to solidify that lead there. Just not a bad roll. It looked pretty stylish, but I just don't think it's going to post in his top 2 scoring rides.
No,
which,
and those scores are 8.75 and a 6.25. So he is trying to get a better wave than a 6.25 to pull ahead of Roberto Bruno.
Yeah,
There's another
that's
look.
a nice loopy roll there. He's got his color combination pretty sorted out there. Remember with the red rashy, a couple of red rails. Things to take note back at home, Groms. Just sort your colors out, but So he's got a pair of black and red fins. I haven't seen those before. Wouldn't mind seeing what they're all about. But he's still sitting in the lead. He's not too stressed. He's just kind of cruising back out, knows he's in second priority. And Roberto's probably going to hold this for the rest of the comp, wait for the best possible scoring wave. And it could actually work to his advantage. Manny, he can get greedy here and actually wait for the best scoring wave in the next 10 minutes, and it could get him over the line.
I've been watching a couple of the highlight reels that we've been posting on YouTube, IBA World Tour. And it's pretty amazing. I mean, these short little clips, these 2-minute, 3-minute clips are perfect little bodyboarding movies and instructionals. If you actually watch them in slow-mo, you can see how the ladies and the guys are doing their moves. And
that's all you want to watch in slow-mo, Manny, but yeah. No, you're right. I was talking to Terry McKenna earlier, just before this event, actually, and he was talking, how much this really relates to a lot of kids back at home and, surfing their local break. This could be like a perfect day in summer for a lot of kids at home, and seeing the best in the world surf it, it really gives them, that motivation to go a bit further. And like you said, 2-minute clips just gets you amped.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's used to, by now, I'm sure, for the past year and a half of watching, the best of the best in some heavy situations like Arica, the box in Western Australia, and massive Porto Escondido and Frontone. I mean, these are some of the heaviest waves on the planet.
Yep.
And the bodyboarders, the best bodyboarders in the world, are throwing it down in those big, massive waves. But then we come here and say, look,
mix it up a bit, boys.
Let's relate to the major amount of bodyboarders out in the world and throw it in a beach break that everybody can relate to. And this is it. Praia Grande and Sintra, we have a little bit of everything. We had some stormy surf with some onshore conditions.
Some ribs.
I'm sure you've spent a few days in some of those types of conditions back home.
Oh, for sure.
And now you have smaller 3 to 4 foot waves with perfect offshore and chilly water. It's everybody can relate to what we've seen in the last few days here in Praia Grande.
Well, we've got to surf everything in the world. Like you said, there's some of the heaviest waves I've ever seen since I've run a bodyboard on this tour, and they just chuck a full spanner in the works for this Sintra event, and it really shakes it up. We've got guys like Roberto Bruno that we haven't seen in the man-on-man heats yet this year, and it shuffles up the ratings really. And through the center of the year, we're only on event number 5 of 8, so Roberto Bruno could post a really great score here and get a good position. Throw him back in the mix for the rest of the year. So. Yeah, it's different. It's cold, it's rippy, it's small, it's big. The IBA World Tour really has got everything, and we'll go to Mexico next month, and no doubt we'll see 10-foot swells pump through and shake it all up again.
Oh, these last couple days, especially yesterday morning, or was it the morning before, where the current was just out of control?
Oh yeah, it was yesterday morning, Manny, and the waves weren't huge, but. Water and you just want to pop up. I know in my heat I was just sort of under the water, just let me up. It's just so annoying. But it's that sort of style of thing that you got to handle, and a lot of these great competitors are doing really well in those conditions and handling the cold, handling rips, all that kind of stuff with surfing the best you can.
You saw Dave Winchester right now. Now he can sit back and relax and enjoy the rest of the comp without any stress.
Yep.
With this comp, unfortunately, he got knocked out of the competition to the Basque Country bodyboarder.
Yep.
Alex Uranga. So
the Basque.
Here we are, heat number 30, round number 6. This is the second heat of round number 6. 5 minutes, 25 seconds remaining. This is an elimination round, of course. One rider will advance on and go face-to-face with Omri Laverne in quarterfinal number 2 out in the water. Jared Houston.
Here we go. Jared just, he's got the freedom to have a little scrap here because he's in second priority. He's probably looking for something decent off this end section. Whoa.
Oh.
There you go. There's that little shallow sandbag. He's probably underwater right now. But he was in second priority. Really got nothing to lose by catching a couple of waves. It might take him a little longer to get out, but Roberto Bruno is playing it smart. He knows he needs a high 8 to really progress through this heat, and he's going to wait for the best possible opportunity there and try not to blow.
It's a little different scenario of what we seen last year, where the finals, which we had last year, ended up in 1 to 2 foot wind chops, and it was very hard for the competitors who are used to the bigger waves and need that bigger push to get them on some of the high-speed projection moves. But the Brazilians dominated with Eder Luciano in second and Uri Valadao taking that last year. But now we're in a situation where it's 3 to 4 foot waves offshore, some barrels, and now it's anybody's ball game.
Can kind of boost off smaller sections, but we got 2 to 3, maybe a couple of 4-footers coming through this morning, nice and clean. You guys got like Jared Houston done a big flip on his first wave and without any struggle at all, and it's great to see. It's going to open this competition wide open. I really can't put my finger on a favourite right now. We've got a bunch of Australians, South Africans, Brazilians, and Americans. We've got Jeff Hubbard later on, and PLC, last year's world champion. Man, he's going to tear this apart. Like I've seen Pierre in waves like this before, and it's like it is great to see. It's actually awesome bodyboarding, So we're going to wait for we're going to wait for these last 3 minutes to see if Roberto can pull off an 8.38.
Check it out, Dal. We have the quarterfinal matchup of the women's division, the actual heat draw up on our IBA World Tour page, and that's where you can click on it, and you will see how the quarterfinals are matched up, and that is coming up after round number 6 of the men's division, and we have a few more heats. This one, 2 minutes 45 seconds remaining, and then 2 more, and then we go straight into the quarterfinals of the women's division. So go on to our IBA World Tour page and see what who is facing off with who, and also, what's that?
Girl on girl action, round 3, no, round 6. No, we're running in the quarterfinals, aren't we? Yep.
Yes, quarterfinals.
So we've got a couple of really good girl competitors there. Actually, Yanati, last year's world champion for the women's. She'll be in the first heat. And Katrina Souza, Isabella Souza, there's some really good women's competitors there. So for any of those girls watching back at home, stick around for the next hour or two, because it's going to be some great viewing on this great webcast. We brought, it's an awesome production we got going this year, and it's a credit to everyone involved behind the scenes, really. And
I just found out you're a graphics dude.
Yeah, I dabble in a bit of graphics. It's good. It keeps me busy as well as surfing, and it's something I've always been interested in, and it's kind of like a side project as well. So
you know how to use Adobe Illustrator?
I know how to use all the supercomputers in the world now.
All right, let's bring it back home right here for the next 1 minute and 30 seconds. Jared Houston leading the charge. He is looking good to advance on into the quarterfinals and face off with Amaury Laverne. If Roberto Bruno wants to face off with Amaury Laverne in quarterfinal number 2, he has to find a wave of an 8.38 or better to knock Jared Houston out of that first and only advancement spot. And 1 minute.
Look at
11 seconds to go.
You got Jared Houston second priority there, sitting behind Roberto. Roberto's just itching for a good wave. It's been a good 20 minutes since we've seen ascent, so it could be showing a bit of sign of the swell dropping. Who knows? But
let's talk about this right now. Roberto Bruno has priority.
Oh.
Why is Jared Houston behind him, not next to him, or in front, out in the lineup further out?
He can put a bit of pressure on him. If he sees something that might be a scoring potential, Jared you'll see him. He'll show a bit of interest, and here we go now. He'll be like trying to hustle him, just to rival him up. Trying to get him to make a mistake really. And as soon as he takes off in a wave, Jared's straight in position, and he won't let go of that. So here comes maybe his last opportunity here. Roberto Bruno has been waiting 20 minutes for this thing.
20 seconds remaining, and the set is coming in. Is Roberto Bruno.
Yeah, he's going to use his priority here. Jared Houston,
you just saw that right now. Roberto Bruno has the priority, has the wave, comes down to the bottom.
What's he
Big
got?
flip right there. Can he pull it off?
I don't think so, Matty. He didn't do it. That was like I said. It's a make or break moment for Roberto, and the body language says it all. Shoulders down. He's looking at the beach. He did all right, It's just a shame he waited all that time and just come in through the last 10 seconds. Jared is probably sitting out there thinking, oh my goodness, you know, what is he going to do on this thing? And I've been in that situation before, and you always think the worst. You're like, okay, you just got a 10.
Look at that right there, going for a high-flying ARS right there. And unfortunately for Roberto, Bruno could not pull it off.
Jared Howson, we're going to see him in the quarterfinals, straight up against, wow, Amaury Laverne. They've been at lock and horns this whole event. They were in the first heat together, round 3 together, round 4 together even. So Jared Howson and Amaury Laverne, we've seen each other in the quarterfinals coming soon. And yeah, I'm kind of blabbering on, but I think I'm going to give it to Ben Player.
Yeah, BP. And do you want to say any last words, any shout-outs or anything?
No, just, hi to all my friends at home. Girlfriend Chelsea, she's probably watching back at home. And, I'll see you guys soon. I'll be back next week.
All right.
In Australia.
Dal, I will step out along with you. Terry
Yep.
McKenna and Ben Player, they're going to take over the commentator's booth. And here we go. The heat has started out in the water. Andrew Lester versus Mark McCarthy. Tessa, Ben Player, take it away.
Beating Roberto Bruno, who also managed to get some good waves with a 6.63 and a 5.38. Conditions out there are pretty good today for the SINTRA Pro in the 2 to 3 foot range. Nice and clean, probably the best conditions we've seen thus far for the event. So the guys are going to be taking advantage of this with this round 6, and after this, the quarterfinals as well. So so next up in this heat right now, we've got Andrew Lester and Mark McCarthy in there.